Hello, and welcome back to Speak English Fluently.
Hi everyone! We are so happy you're here with us today. This channel helps you practice real English every day.
Please click that subscribe button and like this video. I'm Adam.
And I'm Anna.
Hi, Anna. How are you today?
I'm good, Adam. How about you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Actually, something interesting happened yesterday.
Oh, really? What was it?
I was looking at some old college photos.
Oh, wow. That must have brought back a lot of memories.
It did, but at the same time, it felt a little strange.
Strange how? Did you miss the old crowd?
Exactly. I realized I barely talk to any of them now.
Yeah, friendships really do change as we get older.
Is it just us, or does this happen to everyone?
I think most people struggle with friendships after 30.
So are we losing friends, or are we just changing?
And that's the big question we're talking about today.
So how would you define a real friend?
Someone who knows the real you, warts and all.
Yeah, someone you do not need to impress.
Exactly. You can just be your messy self.
With acquaintances, we usually wear a social mask.
True. We always try to look our best.
But real friendship requires dropping that heavy guard.
It feels so relaxing to just be authentic.
Do you have people like that in your life?
I have a few who really know me.
I love friends who are okay with silence.
Oh, that is the best kind of friendship.
You can sit together and say absolutely nothing.
And it doesn't feel awkward or weird.
That is a sign of true, deep comfort.
Usually, silence makes people feel very nervous.
With a true friend, silence is actually peaceful.
It means you don't need to perform.
I think that level of comfort is rare.
It takes a long time to build that.
Have you heard of the 3 a.m. test?
Is that about calling someone late at night?
Yes. Who would answer your call right now?
That list is probably very short for everyone.
A real friend picks up, no questions asked.
Or they call you back immediately the next morning.
They worry about you, not about their sleep.
That's a beautiful way to look at it.
Most people would just be annoyed by it.
Only a true friend would actually be concerned.
Also, they don't judge your bad choices.
They might warn you, but they stay supportive.
They tell you the truth even if it hurts.
But they say it with love and kindness.
Fake friends just tell you what you want.
Yeah, they just want to keep things easy.
I prefer the harsh truth from a friend.
Me too, because that helps us grow better.
It shows they actually care about your future.
Support is not always about agreeing with everything.
Real friends also understand your history and context.
You don't have to explain your backstory.
They already know why you react that way.
That saves so much energy in a conversation.
Explaining yourself constantly can be really exhausting.
With them, you can use shorthand and jokes.
One look is enough to share a thought.
Yes, those silent inside jokes are great.
That connection makes life feel a lot less lonely.
It's like having a witness to your life.
Reliability is another huge factor for real friendship.
You need to know they'll show up.
Flaky people can be fun, but not friends.
I need to count on people I trust.
Trust is the foundation of everything we build.
Without trust, you just have a casual acquaintance.
It's better to be alone than untrusted.
Absolutely. Trust takes years to build up strong.
And it can be broken in 1 second.
That's why we must protect it carefully.
So quality really matters more than quantity here.
We don't need a crowd to feel happy.
I'd trade 50 contacts for 1 friend.
That brings us to an interesting point about numbers.
Remember when we wanted to know absolutely everybody?
Oh yeah, popularity felt so important back then.
In my 20s, I was out every weekend.
Me too. Surrounded by people, but feeling lonely.
That is the paradox of having many friends.
You spread yourself way too thin with everyone,
You know a little about a lot of people.
but you know nobody on a deep level.
Now I honestly prefer a quiet Friday night.
Just hanging out with 1 or 2 people.
It feels much more meaningful and fulfilling now.
Energy is limited, so we must budget it.
Dealing with drama takes up too much energy.
I have zero patience for unnecessary drama today.
Large groups usually bring a lot of chaos.
Someone is always upset or feeling left out.
Managing all those emotions is a full-time job.
I already have a job. I need peace.
Exactly. Friendship should not feel like work.
It should recharge you, not drain your battery.
Do you think social media confuses this issue?
Definitely. It turns friendship into a numbers game.
Having 500 followers means absolutely nothing real.
You cannot call them when you're sick.
They're an audience, they're not friends.
We confuse attention with actual human connection often.
I stopped caring about the numbers years ago.
That is a sign of true emotional maturity.
It's about investing in the right stocks.
Investing time in people who give it back.
One loyal friend is worth 1,000 fans.
You feel safer knowing someone has your back.
Have you noticed how conversations change with fewer people?
Yes, you can actually finish a whole sentence.
And you can talk about real-life issues.
In big groups, everything stays on the surface.
You just joke around and make small talk.
I hate small talk more than anything else.
It feels like a waste of precious time.
I want to know what you really think.
Deep conversations require a safe and private space.
You can't be vulnerable in a crowded room.
So shrinking our circle is actually a strategy.
It protects our mental health and our time.
Some people think it's sad to have few friends.
They don't understand the power of depth.
I feel richer now than when I was popular.
Because your connections are solid and very real.
We're building a small, strong support team.
Like a personal board of directors for life.
I like that metaphor a lot.
It makes sense. Life is a serious business.
But getting here wasn't easy for either of us.
No, drifting apart from old friends hurts sometimes.
It's a natural part of growing up.
We evolve and sometimes we outgrow certain people.
It doesn't mean they were bad people.
Just that our paths are going different ways.
Letting go allows space for the right ones.
Holding on too tight can hold us back.
But making new connections now feels very different.
It's definitely harder than it used to be.
Especially when you hit that 30-year mark.
That number seems to change the game completely.
It feels like a wall hits you suddenly.
Suddenly, everyone is busy or just too tired.
In college, we lived right next door.
We had infinite free time to just hang out.
Now, everyone has a very specific, tight schedule.
And spontaneity is practically dead at this age.
You cannot just knock on someone's door anymore.
That would be considered creepy and rude now.
True. We need an appointment for everything.
Work consumes the best hours of our day.
After work, I just want to sit down.
The couch becomes your best friend in the evening.
Meeting new people feels like a second job.
You have to repeat your whole life story.
Where are you from? What do you do?
The interview phase is so incredibly boring.
It takes so much effort to break through.
Most people just stick to their old groups.
They're not looking for anyone new, actually.
Their rosters are full, no vacancies available currently.
Then marriage and kids enter the picture too.
That changes priorities faster than anything else does.
Parents only hang out with other parents usually.
It's about convenience and playdates for kids.
If you're single, you feel left out.
You become the odd one out at dinners.
Conversations revolve around diapers and school grades mostly.
It's hard to relate if you're childless.
Even married couples disappear into their own bubbles.
They build a fortress and stay inside it.
But honestly, are we also just getting lazy?
I think laziness is definitely a huge factor.
It's easier to watch Netflix than socialize.
Staying home requires zero effort or social energy.
We become set in our very specific ways.
We tolerate less annoyance than we used to.
In our 20s, we put up with nonsense.
Now, one bad comment and I'm out.
We protect our peace a bit too aggressively.
It isolates us, but it feels very safe.
Busy is the most overused word in English.
Everyone wears busy like a badge of honor.
If you're not busy, are you failing?
We use it to avoid making real plans.
It's a polite way to say no.
Or a way of avoiding putting in effort.
Friendship requires unstructured time to really grow deep.
And we have structured every single minute away.
We maximize productivity, but we lose human connection.
That's a sad trade-off we've made.
There's also a fear of rejection here.
Adults are terrified of looking stupid or desperate.
Asking for a phone number feels so awkward.
It feels like dating, but somehow even worse.
You wonder if they actually like you back.
We overthink every single interaction we have now.
Kids just say, let's play, and they bond.
I wish we could be that simple again.
We've built too many walls around us.
Breaking them down seems impossible most days.
So we end up just rescheduling forever.
The endless cycle of let's meet up soon.
That phrase is where friendships go to die.
Scheduling has become a total nightmare for us.
We need a complex calendar just to get coffee.
It takes 3 weeks to find a free slot.
I send a date, you were busy then.
I suggest next Tuesday you have a meeting.
We finally agree on a date next month.
By then, I have forgotten why we're meeting.
And then the day finally arrives.
And honestly, we both secretly hope to cancel.
That is the dark secret of adult friendship.
The relief when someone cancels is purely magical.
Oh no, so sad, but I'm smiling.
I'm already back in my pajamas instantly.
Why do we do this to ourselves constantly?
Because we like the idea of going out.
But the reality is just too much effort.
Group chats are even worse than one-on-one.
Muting the group chat is a survival skill.
One person suggests dinner and total silence follows.
Or everyone argues about the location for days.
Too expensive, too far, I don't like sushi.
It's like negotiating a major peace treaty.
I really miss when we just showed up.
We need a friend who just decides things.
The planner of the group is a hero.
But even the planners are getting tired now.
They stop trying when nobody replies to them.
I think we need a better system here.
Maybe we should lower our expectations for hanging.
A quick errand run together was good enough.
Come grocery shopping with me, that is a date.
That actually sounds perfect and very low pressure.
We can talk while picking out fresh vegetables.
Multitasking is the only way to see friends.
Otherwise, we might not see them until Christmas.
I have friends I haven't seen in years.
But when you talk, nothing has changed, right?
Exactly, we pick up right where we left off.
Those are the friendships that survive the distance.
Low-maintenance friends are the absolute best kind.
They don't demand your time or energy.
They understand that life gets incredibly crazy sometimes.
No guilt trips for missing a birthday party.
Guilt is the fastest way to kill friendship.
If I feel guilty, I will avoid you.
It becomes a chore, not a joy anymore.
We need to normalize canceling without big excuses.
Just say, I'm too tired today, honestly.
A real friend will say, go sleep, bye.
That level of honesty is truly very refreshing.
So the calendar is not the real enemy.
It's our fear of being honest about energy.
We overcomplicate the logistics of simple human connection.
Maybe we should just FaceTime while cooking dinner.
Digital hangouts count when physical ones are hard.
It's better than 6 months of silence.
Consistency is better than a perfect big event.
Small moments matter more than the big outings.
We have to adapt or we end up alone.
But what if we actually want new friends?
That's a whole different challenge to tackle.
Making new friends requires leaving the house again.
Oh, no, that sounds terrible and very exhausting.
But sometimes it's necessary to expand circles.
You're right, we can't hide away forever.
So, how do we actually meet new people?
It feels awkward, like asking for a date.
Will you be my friend? Sounds so weird.
Please never say that to a stranger.
We need a shared activity to focus on.
Yes, hobbies are the best social lubricant available.
You can talk about the activity, not yourself.
It removes the pressure of forced small talk.
Joining a running club is a popular option.
Or a pottery class. Everyone is bad there.
Being bad at something together creates instant bonding.
Shared suffering is a great way to connect.
What about work friends? Do they count really?
Work friends are tricky territory for many people.
You see them every day, so it's easy.
But boundaries are important in a professional setting.
Can you be real friends with your boss?
I would keep that relationship professional and polite.
But colleagues can definitely become your closest friends.
Especially if you bond over a mutual enemy.
Complaining about work is a universal language.
What about reaching out to old lost friends?
That's often easier than finding new people.
You already have a history to build upon.
A simple message can restart the whole connection.
Thinking of you is a powerful text message.
But rejection is still a fear even then.
What's the worst thing that can happen?
They don't reply and life just goes on.
We take silence too personally most of the time.
They're probably just busy or overwhelmed too.
You have to be the one to initiate.
Waiting for others to call is very lonely.
Be the friend you want to have yourself.
That requires putting your ego aside for a bit.
Vulnerability is the price of admission for friendship.
You have to risk looking a little foolish.
I tried using friendship apps a while ago.
Oh, really? How was that digital experience?
It was interesting, but felt a bit unnatural.
Swiping for friends feels very strange to me.
But it works for some people, I guess.
I prefer organic meetings in the real world.
Like chatting with neighbors or local dog owners.
Dogs are the ultimate icebreakers for shy people.
You just talk about the cute dog immediately.
Consistency is key once you meet someone new.
You can't meet once and disappear for months.
That's called a ghost, not a friend.
You need regular contact to build actual trust.
Even a quick meme keeps the door open.
It shows you're thinking about them today.
Small gestures go a very long way here.
We overthink the grand gestures way too much.
Just showing up is 90% of success.
And listening when you're actually there together.
People just want to be heard and seen.
If you listen well, you'll make friends.
It's a simple formula, but hard practice.
Because we're usually waiting to speak next.
Active listening is a superpower for building bonds.
It makes the other person feel incredibly special.
So we make the effort, then what happens?
Then comes the maintenance phase, the real work.
Building a friendship is just the starting line.
Keeping it alive is the real marathon challenge.
Plants die if you don't water them.
And friendships fade if you ignore them completely.
It doesn't happen overnight, it's slow.
One day you realize you're strangers again.
We can't rely on accidental run-ins anymore.
You have to be intentional with your time.
Putting a reminder in your phone actually helps.
Call mom or text Sarah is a strategy.
It sounds unromantic, but it saves relationships.
I schedule calls during my morning commute now.
That's a smart use of dead time.
It turns traffic jams into quality connection time.
But the effort must go both ways, always.
One-sided friendships are exhausting and very painful.
You can't be the only one reaching out.
That feels like you're chasing them constantly.
If I stop rowing, the boat stops moving.
Then maybe it's time to get off.
We accept the love we think we deserve.
We should demand better from our close circle.
Maintenance isn't always about big, expensive dinners.
Sharing a funny video shows you care too.
It says, I saw this and thought of you.
That specific thought is what really matters most.
Remembering small details is huge for bonding deeply.
Asking about their sick cat or big meeting.
It shows you actually listened to them last time.
People appreciate being remembered in the daily chaos.
What if a friend goes through a crisis?
That's when you double down on effort.
You show up with soup or just silence.
Presence is the most valuable currency we have.
Fair weather friends disappear when rain starts falling.
I want friends who stay for the storm.
Tough times reveal who is truly standing there.
It cleans out your contact list very fast.
We also need to forgive lapses in communication.
Everyone gets overwhelmed by life sometimes, sadly.
Don't hold a grudge for a missed text.
Grace is the glue that holds friends together.
Assume they're doing their best right now.
Unless they're toxic, then let them go.
Can you grow separately but stay together?
Yes, if you respect each other's new path.
We don't have to be twins to connect.
Differences can actually make the friendship more interesting.
I learned so much from my different friends.
They challenge my way of thinking about things.
An echo chamber is boring and dangerous too.
I want to be challenged, not just comforted.
Celebrating wins is just as important as support.
Jealousy has no place in a real friendship.
If you win, I win, we both win.
Cheering for your friend should feel totally natural.
Their success doesn't mean your failure.
There's plenty of sunshine for everyone here,
A true friend claps the loudest for you.
even when they're struggling with their own stuff.
That's the ultimate test of character.
Investing in people is the best long-term investment.
It pays dividends in happiness and mental health.
We really should appreciate the good ones more.
So, friendship is really the family we choose.
And it makes the journey worth taking together.
We hope this chat resonated with you today.
Tag your best friend in the comments below.
And hit that like button if you enjoyed.
Don't forget to subscribe for more real talks.
Go call a friend right after this video.
See you in the next episode. Take care.